Y'all know the saying, old as dirt? Well, I think there's some cities in the UK that are older, so we need to change that. What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new reaction, and today we're watching the 10 oldest cities in the UK. Ooh, I'm excited. I love me some old stuff, and the UK has, like, the oldest stuff. So, we're about to get into it. Go into the channel, hit the subscribe button, drop a like for more reactions like this. Go check out all my other channels, link down in the description. Especially more JTReacts. I pretty much post over there every day. I post on this channel, and we're trying to hit 20K over there, so do me a favor. Go click that link down in the description. Go subscribe over there, but other than that, let's get on up into it.
So what are the oldest cities in the United Kingdom? Well, there are 10 that are so old that they predate the record books themselves and are said to have held their city status since time immemorial.
Wait, they're older than the history books. That don't even, what? Like, I can't even comprehend that, excuse me?
Before I dive into the list though, I should explain briefly what constitutes a city in the UK. In short, there are two kinds: those with an Anglican cathedral, which alone qualifies them by ancient prescriptive right, and those who were
Really?
granted city status following an application. The latter kind came about during Queen Victoria's reign, where many industrial towns became cities. But we're here
So
to
technically, you could have a big old empty field, slap a cathedral in the middle of it, and technically that's a city. Good to know.
focus on the former, specifically those whose founding date is unknown, mostly on account of the poor record keeping of the Saxons.
Huh.
For perspective, the oldest UK city with a definitive
Hang on. Bro. Just look at that. Just look at it. Would you just look at it? Just look. Look at it. I said look at it. Dude, that's beautiful. Like, dude, the river with the castle in the background. Come on, man.
date is believed to be Durham, founded in AD 995, assuming the
995. No, not 2000, not 1900, no, not 1700. Shoot, that's old over here. No, we're talking about before 1000. Nah, dude.
the records of the time are accurate. So the 10 oldest cities, in order from north to south, rather than chronological order, as that part is unknown, are as follows. Number 1.
Here we go.
Originally a Roman settlement founded in AD 71 under the name Eboracum, the city of York is situated at the confluence of the River Ouse and River Foss.
Really? York? I thought it was gonna be like some sort of like little city that maybe I haven't heard of. But York, dude, that's like one of the more popular ones.
And it became a suitable outpost at which the Romans could suppress the local tribe, the Brigantes. In the 4th century, Emperor Constantine the Great was declared Roman Emperor in York, and he became the first to allow Christians to worship freely, and by the year 314, Eboracum had its first...
I'm sorry, it's just the year 314. Like, it's ridiculous how old the UK is. Like, bro, it's so awesome.
bishop. In the 7th century, the Saxons came and named it Eoforwic, with the Wick...
They named it what? Hang on.
century, the Saxons came and named it Eoforwic, with
Alright.
the Wick suffix, suggesting that it was a trading centre. In 601, Pope Gregory sent a mission to convert the British to Christianity. He selected York to be the church's centre in the north. In 735, York became an archbishopric. In AD 866, the Danish Vikings conquered Eoforwic and put their own Scandinavian spin on it, naming it Jorvik, and made it their effective capital in the British Isles.
I feel like we're walking down like a movie set right now. Look at that. That does, like, there's no way that's an actual just like street.
Its iconic cathedral, York Minster, or to give it its official name, the Cathedral and Metropolitical Church of St. Peter in York, was consecrated in 1472 on the site of an old Saxon church believed to date from the 7th century,
Wow.
which in turn was on the site of the old Roman Basilica. This is of course the seat of the Archbishop of York.
Wow.
Number 2. In the 6th century, St. Dainiol founded a monastery in a settlement in the area we now refer to as North Wales. This became known as Bangor, meaning wattled enclosure in Old Welsh.
Shout my Wales people.
Dainiol became the first bishop of Bangor in the Kingdom of Gwynedd.
I've never heard of that. Bangor.
The original monastery is Bangor Cathedral, which was built in the 12th and 13th centuries. Restorations took place over the centuries following various attacks, including one instance when King John destroyed it during a raid on Gwynedd.
Dang.
Bangor is the oldest city in Wales, or
Oh, dude, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but that's got some creepy vibes to it. Look at that. That just screams, "Hey, I'm haunted."
to put it another way, the oldest city in the UK outside of England.
Wow.
Number 3. In the 7th century, St. Chad,
What is that house? What is that building doing? Why is it painted like that? And why can't every house ever be painted like that? That is awesome.
Bishop of Mercia, declared this city his bishop's seat. The settlement was Lichfield, and it became the focal point of Christianity in the Kingdom of Mercia.
We have a town called that, but it has an E before the I over here. And it's literally like 30 minutes away from me.
Following Chad's death in 672, Lichfield became a place of pilgrimage. A Saxon church was built, which became his resting place. In the same spot, the Normans built a new cathedral from the year 1085. The construction of the present cathedral began in...
Oh my goodness. Like, it's structures like that just blows my mind. Like, how did people actually build that thing? How is that actually something that was built by humans? Like, dude, look at that. That's insane.
in 1195, featuring the UK's only medieval triple spire.
Oh my goodness.
Number 4. Very little is known about the Roman history of this city, but the Saxon settlers discovered a fort here and named it Weargorna Sestra, though the meaning of Weargorna is unclear. Nevertheless, the name evolved to Worcester. In the 7th
I've heard of that. What the heck?
century, the first cathedral at Worcester was built, which
I
became
don't
the
know
seat
why I'm surprised that I've heard of it. Like, yeah, JT, you heard of it. Okay.
of the Bishop of the Hwickers. Hwicker was a tribal kingdom existing from the 6th to the 8th century, situated around the area equating approximately to parts of Worcestershire, Warwickshire and Gloucestershire of today. Worcester was its capital. With the Viking invasion and subsequent establishment of the Danelaw in the 9th century, Worcester became a burh, i.e. a fortified settlement, as part of a move by King Ethelred and his wife Ethelfled to solidify the Kingdom of Mercia against the Danish threat to the east. From the late 11th to the 16th century, a second cathedral was built in Worcester in a range of architectural styles from Norman to Perpendicular Gothic. Number 5. In the 7th century, Bishop Putter became the first bishop of this city and is believed to have been responsible for the construction of the first cathedral here. The city is Hereford. The name Hereford is believed to derive from Old English for army river crossing. It was a frontier settlement.
Hey, I love it. Just straight to the point. Hey, we got an army. They need to cross this river. We're in this city. Let's name it this.
Various conflicts between the Anglo-Saxons and not only the native Welsh, but the Danes as well. In 1079, the Normans began the construction of the current Hereford Cathedral on the site of its Saxon predecessor. Work continued into the 13th century.
I'm starting to learn that cathedrals might be the most beautiful buildings ever constructed. I love me some castles, but dude, these cathedrals are insane. Like the details in the different colors and types and styles, like bro, it's ridiculous.
Number 6. Now, here's where things get a bit technical. In the eyes of the law, the City of London, with emphasis on the city, refers to the approximate area the Romans inhabited from the 1st century AD, also called the square mile. This is actually both a city and a ceremonial county in its own right, and an enclave surrounded by the ceremonial county of Greater London. In the 9th century...
Wait, what? So there's London, and then there's Great London? Huh?
Alfred the Great is believed to have come across the old Roman fortifications and turned it into a Saxon fortified settlement that could better withstand Viking attacks than the previous base.
What is that building? Why is it so massive?
Believed to be around the Covent Garden area, with 2 street names of today providing clues, as in Old English, Strand means beach, and Aldwych means Old Trading Centre. Following the establishment of the Archdiocese of Canterbury, a cathedral was constructed in London in the 7th century and was dedicated to St Paul. This has gone through various iterations up to the present structure designed by Christopher Wren in the aftermath of the Great Fire of 1666.
Wow. Dude, I know this is about cities, but this is low-key just turned into me looking at different, like, cathedrals and buildings, but every structure in the UK makes every, like, popular, beautiful building here in America look like a mud hut. Like, they don't compare at all. It's so crazy. Like, that building right there makes, like, the White House look like it's built out of sticks.
In the aftermath of the Great Fire of 1666. Number 7. Before the Romans came, this area was home to a tribe known as the Cantiaci, from which the name of both the city and its county, Kent, derive. The city, of course, being Canterbury. After the Claudian invasion of AD 43, the Romans established a military base, which they called
Hang on, excuse me? What year was that?
AD 43.
43. Dude, the country I live in is a baby. Like, a literal infant. 43 is the year. This just, like, it takes away every, like, old thing I found metal detecting and just makes it seem like an iPhone. Like, yeah, 100 years ago is really, really old for American history, but that's literally like an 8-hour work shift for the UK. Like, it doesn't compare.
The Romans established a military base, which they called Duravernum Cantiacorum. This became the principal trading centre for the surrounding area. Around AD 270, defensive walls were put in place, which remain in place to this day, albeit with various reworkings. In the 6th century, the Jutes established the Kingdom of Kent, with Canterbury becoming its capital. In AD 597, St Augustine arrived in England on a mission to convert its inhabitants to Christianity. In doing so, Augustine became the first Archbishop of Canterbury. By the 9th century, it was firmly established as the centre of the English Church. This did, however, mark it out as a target for the Danish Vikings across multiple generations. In 1011, Canterbury Cathedral was burnt following the capture of Archbishop Alphege. The cathedral was rebuilt and subsequently burnt on 2 more occasions before being built.
They got to build that thing out of something different next time, because it just keeps burning down. People keep burning it to the ground.
In stone. It was the site of the martyrdom of Thomas Becket in 1170 by the Knights of Henry II, and subsequently became a place of pilgrimage. Number 8. England's smallest city is also among its oldest. Named after the wells in the grounds of the Bishop's Palace and the cathedral, the city of Wells is believed to have originated as a small Roman settlement.
Wait, the city is named Wales, but not Wales, because it had whales, but not like those big whales, like, no. And it ain't also in Wales, it's called Wales. That's
In the early 8th century, King Ine of Wessex chose Wells as the site of a minster church. By the early 10th century, the Diocese of Wells had been founded by King Edward the Elder. This diocese moved to Bath in the Norman period, but as a compromise, a joint diocese was later set up between the two, but officially returned exclusively to Wells in the 13th century, several decades after the construction had begun on Wells Cathedral.
Is that Gothic? Is that the Gothic style he was talking about? Whatever it is, I love it.
Century, several decades after the construction had begun on Wells Cathedral. Number 9. The first inhabitants of this city are believed to be the Belgae tribe. The Romans arrived here shortly after the Claudian invasion of AD 43 and established their own settlement, which they called Venta Belgarum. The meaning of Venta is uncertain, but believed to be a Brythonic word for market. When the Saxons discovered the abandoned Roman settlement, they named it
No turn right sign. Can't turn right there. I know that. Yeah, I know that.
Venta Casta, meaning Fort of Venta.
Oh, except bicycles. If you're on a bicycle, you can turn right.
Which evolved into Winchester. In
Really?
the 7th century, a church was built here, and in AD 676 the Bishop of Wessex moved his seat to Winchester, effectively making it a cathedral. The Normans would later demolish this in the late 11th century and begin to build in its place the present Winchester Cathedral, although work continued until the 16th century.
Dang.
In AD 871, Alfred the Great was crowned King of Wessex and established Winchester as its capital. When England became united as a single kingdom in the 10th century, Winchester remained the capital until the 12th century. Number 10.
Here we go.
In the 1st century AD, the Romans ventured into an area of the southwestern British Isles, where they founded Isca Dumnoniorum, a name which references the Dumnoni tribe who predated the Romans, and to whom the county
Predates the Romans. Okay.
Devon is named after. The city was, of course, Exeter, and was situated at the southwestern terminus of
I have never heard of that before in my life.
the
Exeter.
ancient Roman road known as the Fosse Way. In the 7th century, the Saxons settled in the ruins of the abandoned Roman settlement, which they named Escancester, whose name evolved to Exeter.
Huh.
Having been subject to various Viking attacks, it was fortified in the 10th century by
And now there's a Lego store there. How the times have changed.
King Athelstan. In the year 1003, disaster struck as the Vikings plundered the city after they were let in through the gates. Although more or less reduced to rubble, Exeter recovered, and by 1050, Exeter Cathedral was founded.
Dude.
From the early 12th century, it was rebuilt by the Normans. And those are the 10 oldest cities in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I will never say I found something old ever again when I'm metal detecting, because it's not. It's just not. Alright guys, that is going to do it for the top 10 oldest cities in the UK. If you want to see more reactions like this, let me know by hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go out today, spread love, spread kindness, do something nice somebody day. I love you guys so much, really do. JTReacts, I'm out. Peace.